author of Fallout, Nuclear Bribes, Russian Spies, and Washington Lies that Enriched the Clinton and Biden Dynasties. Good to have you with us. Let me ask you this first, John. Your thoughts about this software glitch and how much of an effect it might have broadly across the state.
It's one of the things that we've been looking at as part of our review. So there are about 36 other municipalities and counties in the Midwest that use this software. So we're interviewing each of those county clerks tonight to see if any other anomalies. We're also comparing the 2020 election results to 2016, which is how this first glitch was found, to see if any states look to be inverted or wrong, any counties look to be inverted and wrong. And so, but the fact that it got corrected is good. The fact that it got caught and corrected through these reviews that we and others are doing is a good thing. And also, I think a good thing, the Justice Department and the FBI aren't talking. That was James Comey's FBI that liked to leak. But they are speaking loudly with actions. Mm-hmm. There are multiple investigations going on in the FBI and the Justice Department looking at voter fraud. You just mentioned one, the Las Vegas one. I can confirm for you from both local officials and FBI and Justice Department officials that in Michigan, a whistleblower, a City of Detroit election worker, has come forward to claim that she and other workers were asked to backdate ballots that had come in beyond the deadline. This is a very active investigation, and it's a sign that, while there's not a lot of press releases and talking going on, actionable things that are coming into the FBI and Justice Department are being turned around very quickly as this election nears its end.
It's really, there's a real cross current here of doubt and concern for most Americans, because this FBI, this Department of Justice, are the same that were co-conspirators in the assault on a president and the effort to block his agenda and to overthrow him, and fed the American public all sorts of, frankly, vicious and horrific lies in so doing. We showed James Comey with his FBI mug, and his Biden mug and his Biden-Harris T-shirt. Chris Wray was a close associate of his. So was Robert Mueller. We know the tone, we know the temperament, we know the direction of their ideologies. This is not a salve that is likely to be very effective right now with this FBI. This is the same FBI, by the way, not commenting about these elections, who were quick to confirm an investigation into a convoy of Trump supporters who were escorting a Biden-Harris bus out of the state of Texas. I mean, this is you have to put me down as one who thinks this FBI is rotten to the core, and the Department of Justice.
I got you something to make you smile, maybe. Let me give you something to try to make you smile on this, Lou.
Right.
I am tell next week, although it's terribly belated. It's post-election. It's terribly belated. But next week, I think we will see some public action in the Russia collusion case, something that was pending that now will take place. I know it's not satisfying to know what happened after the election, but to see some form of justice, to see some form of activity in the John Durham Barr investigation, I think will be good news for those who want accountability and complete transparency. I think there'll be an event next week that'll give us some visibility for the first time, and I think that's good. Meanwhile, whether the FBI or Justice Department does its job, there are lots of good work going on right now looking at voter fraud issues, getting it to the public, forcing the FBI, the Justice Department, local and state officials to do that. To do their job. They may not go out and find it, but if it's brought to them, they're gonna look at it. I think that's one of the good pieces of news here. And my organization, many others, are doing really great work on the ground, and we're finding really serious things, and we're going to get them to the public's attention, event by event, concern by concern. So we'll get the public informed, even with all of the road blocking and censorship that goes on in the American public today.
There are all sorts of paths forward here in producing evidence and investigating and bringing the truth forward. But it's important to remember the reason that is such a challenge is because people in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, nearly all of these five states are Democrat-led. They are, in the case of Pennsylvania, they also have a Republican-led legislature. There is no excuse for what has happened here, and that pursuit of truth is difficult because they are purposely keeping secret the vote count. They are denying public access to that, and forget public access, they won't even permit Republican vote watchers. Don't you think it's a safe statement to make that there should be a presumption of corruption here, because otherwise what would be the purpose?
Well, you've talked about the deep state, the permanent bureaucracy, and of course we saw that the Justice Department, the State Department, the FBI, and the intelligence community during the Russia scandal. You're seeing a different form of the deep state at these local election offices around the state. They're playing games, they're hiding things under shell. But at the end of the day, we're going to get the data. We are going to get it exposed. I think the American people need to dig in for a long review on this election. This was a storm coming for a long time.
It's a storm coming, but we need to know, in order to preserve the integrity of the election, we need 100%. To know before there is a temptation to declare a president-elect other than Donald Trump. Will that happen?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, the media is going to have to be responsible. They haven't had a good record on it. Yeah, the media hasn't been very responsible, but let's see how
I got about as much faith in that as I do the FBI and the Department of Justice, John.